Hello and welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be a part 1 of a 4-part series reviewing the Continental Extreme Contact DWS 06. Now I've had these tires on the car for about 2 months now, and it was right at the tail end of the fall and getting into the winter. At the time that I'm filming this right now, it is just a few days before Christmas, and we have had our first true snowfall for the season out here in Vancouver. But in today's video, I want to focus more on cold weather, ice, and rain conditions, because the snow may be falling right now, but it hasn't quite really put a nice blanket or layer over the roads for me to really test these tires in snow conditions. But I have had plenty of rain to kind of really give a good idea of what these tires are like in the rain, in the dry, and the cold, and with that black ice you get in the mornings on my usual commute into the office. Today I left a little bit later, so it's nice and sunny out. I can actually get this video done for you guys, and I really wanted to talk about these tires over this 4-part series, because being that they're supposed to be a true 4-season tire, it's best that I break this video down, or this series down, and do it in 4 steps so you guys get a really good understanding of how these tires are going to perform year-round. So let's do part 1 right now. So if some of you have been watching my videos for some time now, you know that I had summer tires on the vehicle. And during any kind of rainstorm, these things were horrendous. The car would slide all over the place. I had to reduce power dramatically. I just had no grip in the car whatsoever. But I've been surprised with these DWS 06s. They do call them dry, wet, and snow. And for the wet category, wow. I've been able to do full throttle accelerations in this car in 1st gear, 2nd gear, and into 3rd gear with very little to zero tire slip whatsoever in the rain. That's extremely impressive for a tire that's able to put up with this much power and still be able to give you a good sense of confidence on the road. The other category that you're going to want to know about a tire like this when you're talking about rain is, what are they like for hydroplaning? Well, most tires that I've driven on, a summer tire especially, when I'm on any kind of rainy days where it's really coming down hard, it does get a little unsettling. You're not quite confident in the tire as far as how much contact it's making with the road, and it does start to float slightly. I've had zero hydroplaning with these tires whatsoever. They've been really impressive like that, and that gives you a nice sense of confidence when you're driving with this tire, to know that, you know, if you have to get on the brakes, it's not just going to get away from you right away. Now, that's not to say that, you know, drive more aggressively, still drive like how you should in those type of conditions, but just know that this tire is actually going to grip like it's supposed to, and you're not going to get that unsettling feeling. So, good to know. The other thing I've been really pleasantly surprised with this tire, especially considering the majority of my driving is commuting and going on the highway, is road noise. Compared to a summer tire, which you would never consider to be typically very noisy, these things are actually quieter. I was really impressed by that. The second I drove away after having them installed, I was actually quite shocked. I was like, wow, these things are quiet. So no hum, no vibration, nothing like that whatsoever. And the turn-in response, especially in dry, kind of, 10 degrees above freezing kind of conditions, no problem with grip. It actually grips just like a summer tire so far. So I'm going to be really impressed to see, as we go into parts 2 and 3 and eventually 4, how these tires continue to perform, especially as I get more and more mileage on them. At the time that I'm filming this right now, I've probably been able to put about 5,000 to 6,000 kilometers on the tires so far. So I feel like that's a good kind of idea of what they've been like for that one season. Typical drivers usually only put about 20 to 30,000 kilometers on a vehicle. Everyone's different depending where you live, but around here that's kind of the average. So the fact that I'm about 25% into the year's worth of driving on these tires kind of gives me a good idea of how they performed overall. And I've been really happy. Like I said, the grip has been great as far as black ice is concerned. they do slip a little bit, but I think any tire would slip in black ice conditions. You just got to drive a little bit slower and understand what you're trying to do. That being said though, compared to other tires I've had, I do still get that sense of confidence with these tires that they are there, they are gripping to a certain degree, just don't push it. Don't, you know, give it a quick throttle, don't do any really hard turn-ins, just kind of make it more of a radius corner, and you should be okay. So far I've been happy with that. So far I would have to say, who's this tire for? This tire is for somebody that maybe has only one set of wheels, or maybe you do have two sets of wheels and you want to get a really hard, like R compound for your summer setup, but you want to have something that's going to be good for the rest of the year, not just actual snow tires for winter. So far I think this tire is a great fit for those type of people. Anyone who has a rear-wheel drive car that is their daily driver and they are experiencing rain especially and a little bit of snow like we do here in Vancouver, I think this is an ideal tire for that type of person, because you're able to not really sacrifice too much in performance for your actual, you know, compared to your most typical all-season tires. You're going to lose a lot of performance in those. You're still managing to maintain that with this tire like you would in a summer tire, but you're able to have that kind of all-season with very little compromise. There's going to be a little bit, don't get me wrong, it's not as good as a true summer tire, or it's not as good as a true winter tire, but I think for an all-around true four-season tire, so far this thing has performed extremely well. So part 2, I am hoping that we're going to get some snow over the next month or so. Typically January we get a lot of snow, and during that time I want to be able to really test these tires in just snow conditions, and that'll be part 2 of this series. Part 3, we're going to do more spring, which once again gets into heavy rain. And I actually have a track day event lined up in the spring that odds are it's going to be raining during that day, and I'm hoping that it does, because then I can actually really test this tire in a track environment in the rain. So look forward to that part. Part 4, obviously going to be summertime, so how does this thing perform on, you know, dry summer day, most ideal conditions for grip. I'll probably take it to an autocross event or something like that, just to kind of show you guys what it's like. But I'm also going to have a summer tire as well, so maybe we'll do a comparison between the two and really show what it's like in a summer environment. You know, how much time are you losing on this 4-season tire versus a true like R compound or summer compound tire. So thanks for watching, guys. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I do try to put videos out every week. I cover a variety of topics, and I am daily driving this car all year round, and we're just into winter, which is the most exciting part. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Take care. Bye.